Hey, I'm Dan Nichols, and these are Deer Tactics. Okay, these are just some lessons that I've picked up over the years. They've worked for me. I've talked with other people who've used some of these, and it's worked for them. And so I wanted to share it. This is the absolute cheapest, easiest, least technologically advanced method of making a video on Earth, and I don't care because the information is still good and it's worked. So let's get started. All right, background. Got some land up in Maine and was up deer hunting there with an any deer permit, meaning shoot buck or doe. Normally, you're only allowed a buck in Maine. And driving along with my dad, who only had a buck tag, and we see four doe off in a field about a quarter mile away. And you can see that here. Yeah, there's the deer. They were up in this field. This is actually a ridge. And then we were on Main Street here heading north. So we're going along, and after we spot these, we have a decision to make whether to go after them or not. And we decided that, bird in the hand, two in the bush. Didn't realize how big some of these does were. One was a mega doe, huge doe. Anyway, so this is where we had to decide what to do. We pulled off to the side of the road, checked the property, and are looking at it, making sure it's not posted. Now, Maine is different than most states. Any land not posted is legal to hunt. Now, you're supposed to ask. In general, that's what people tell you to do, and I think some people would appreciate it. But that's actually we've gotten yelled at for that. We were hunting the year prior or 2 years prior to this, and we saw some game out in a field. We were like, oh, hey, let's stop and ask, and if we can go hunt there. It's legal. So we just go up to the owner, and they look at us weird, and they pause, and they're like, y'all ain't from around here, are you? Now, they're not with a southern accent. They're from Maine, but that kind of just like, you guys are stupid type of tone. We're like, no, we're not. Like, yeah, you don't ask. This is Maine. Let me explain how this works. You just go hunt. You don't have to ask permission. That wasn't the only time that's happened. That's happened to us several times. So, okay, we decided, hey, we'll go ahead and hunt this spot. We'll be good to go. But it's a quarter mile away. I don't feel comfortable making that shot. And there's my dad doesn't either. So we're scratching our heads literally, like, what are we doing? Well, we gotta close the distance somehow, some way. And then we pull out this card from the military. Find, fix, flank, kill. All right. There is a road, and you can see it right here, that runs. This is all uphill. So top of the hill is here. This road along here, Donworth Street, connects to it and then goes up there. We decide that my dad can turn around, drive down, drop me off, and then I will run up the hill. That's not smart. I knew what I was doing, but I was breathing very heavy when it was done. Run up the hill, and then work my way around. And what my dad would do is he would pull back down and he would just park right here. Now, at the time, I wasn't sure of Maine's laws on communicating, so we agreed that we not to call each other. So I didn't know where the deer were. He wasn't guiding me onto them or anything. I wanted him down there to just park, because when we had stopped there earlier, the deer had been watching us. Okay, so that gave the deer something to fixate on, to stare at. They were aware of my dad being parked down along the road. They didn't consider him a threat, but it was enough to keep their attention. And they did. While he sat there parked, they just watched him. They kind of meandered from this spot slowly towards the tree line a little bit. But that was it. They kept their eyes on him. I was able to come up to the top and work my way around without them ever noticing. So once I got up there, came around this bend, couldn't see the deer at first. There are some tall bushes and brush up there. If you've ever been to northern Maine, I don't know the name of the plant, but it's got the red twigs that the moose love to eat, and everything is about moose level, so about 4 feet-ish off the ground. It just chopped like a 4-foot high lawnmower, and that's just the height from all the moose passing by and eating it. Scan for a little bit, and then I catch one of the little deer bounding away, and I'm getting ready to try to line up a shot on them when I notice the mega doe staring at me. And measured it later. She was 160 yards away, dead on. But the deer are kind of getting away towards this tree line, and I don't want to lose the shot. So even though I'm breathing heavy, again, tool I learned from the Army, and most people probably have heard of this, but an infinity sign or a figure 8, but you make that shape with the crosshairs, and that helps you, because if you try to hold it still, it's just bouncing. If you can make that shape, it's actually easier to control, and as the crosshairs come back into your target, you squeeze the trigger. So I removed the slack from the trigger, made the figure 8, and then pulled it right on the deer's neck. She dropped out of sight. Wasn't actually sure that I had hit her or not, but I did. It was shooting a 270, so, zeroed at 100. 160, it's still flat at that point. It's hardly any drop, and straight through the neck, shattered it, completely destroyed the spinal column, and she just dropped like a ton of bricks. And she was heavy. She dressed at 168 pounds, because you have to weigh all the deer in Maine anyway and check them in. And yeah, we raised her up, 168 pounds dressed. Biggest doe I've ever shot. Bigger than most bucks. I think I've only ever killed one buck larger than that. But the tactic worked, and that's what I want to share with everyone. If you have a way of getting someone to help you out, to help the deer fixate on that you can maneuver against the deer. Okay, I know another example from I've read about is a guy having a friend park on the far end of a field that they knew the deer were in, and while he was parked on the far end of the field, similar distance, I think it was about 400 yards away, the hunter was able to walk through the tree line unnoticed and get up close to the deer in order to get I believe he actually took a bow shot, is how close he could get. So it works. If you've got a partner, or actually, you know what, if there was a way for you to park a truck and then work your way around, but something in that magic distance, you can't get too close to spook them, and you can't be so far away they don't even notice it. But the deer pay attention. So if you've got the room to work with, 200 to 400, 500 yards away, something to keep them fixated, this will work. So I wish you the best of luck. Go out there, slay some deer, and let me know how it goes.